And blessed to be a part of your day. Kevin Miller in the morning here at KIDO Talk Radio. Do want to remind you your chance to win tickets to see Dennis Miller coming up between now and 8:20, and then again between now and 9 o'clock. So we've got a few more pairs to give away. Do want to thank Robin who stopped by. Said, Kevin Miller, I want those tickets. And I said, well, unfortunately they don't trust me with them. You've got to listen. So here's what happens. Caller 10 at 580-5436. 580-KIDO. Oh, Kevin Miller. What's the cue to call? Is it the lame Kevin Miller, hey, here's the cue to call? No, it's actually Dennis Miller from our interview from him, with him, actually on Tuesday. And if you've missed that, you can go to our website, KIDOTalkRadio.com, and check that out. A very special day when we're talking about Gold Star Spouses Day before we get to our guests here at Mountain View High School. Joining us now is the author of Echo in Ramadi, the firsthand story of U.S. Marines in Iraq's deadliest city, Major Husing. Major, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Kevin. Thanks for having me on the show. How are you today?
Thank you, Major Scott Husing, for your service. Sir, first of all, tell us a little bit about what it's like to be in the military and for military families today and every day.
Well, we're extremely fortunate to be connected through this network of our families, our Gold Star families. They're such an important part of everything we do. And, when I wrote Echo in Ramadi, I think the first chapter of the book, which is about one of my Gold Star moms and a phone call I had to make to her after she lost her son, Corporal Dustin Libby, that was an important part to me. And I think that it's one of the reasons that I had to write this story was to educate people not so much about the fighting and the friction and the grim aspects of combat in Ramadi, Iraq, which was the deadliest city in Iraq at the time, but to really honor the Marines that fought and to honor the families that supported us while we fought and that continue to support us to this day. And that includes our amazing Gold Star families who lost so much and yet continue to love us so much. And they carry this torch and they shine light for a lot of guys that are still dealing with their own darkness that they deal with through the loss of their fellow Marines and soldiers. But they're just extraordinary people. And that's really what I wanted people to understand that about Echo and Ramadi is this book is not just another war story. I mean, it's absolutely about the fighting and the friction and the excitement of all that, but it's moreover about the people and the feeling and the emotion and this power of human connection that, sustained us while we fought and won in Ramadi in 2006 during the surge strategy, but still sustains us to this day. It's really an amazing network of people, the best our nation has, to be honest with you.
What's more difficult, being in combat and that stress and learning those survival skills, sir, or coming back to a world that because of your courage and the courage of your brothers and sisters know nothing about the dangers you faced and the impact it's taken, the toll it's taken on you guys?
Well, that's a great question. Absolutely fighting in an urban war where the front line is literally everywhere and you're fighting a faceless, ununiformed enemy that is hell-bent on promoting their hateful ideology, trying to kill Americans, trying to kill Marines and soldiers, but also trying to, get their hateful ideology across through murder and intimidation and kidnapping of local Iraqi people. I mean, that's tough. I mean, that's a very dynamic, and it was a very deadly and dangerous place that we operated in. And to come back and to continue on with your service in the military, which a lot of guys do, or transition out, I think that we're very fortunate, again, through this network and this power of human connection, the people that support us, that we really enjoy a level of success to not only transition into the private sector, but there's so many great organizations that help Marines and soldiers deal with some of the traumatic aspects that they saw at such a very early age. And that's important. And that's another reason why I wrote this book, is that a portion of the proceeds of Echo and Ramadi go to help veterans with post-traumatic stress, help our Gold Star families, and we do that through SaveTheBrave.org, which I'm the executive director of. And that's really what it's all about, is staying connected, continuing to help those that want to heal and understand that it's all right to have done the things they've done and to help them through that process. But we live in a great country, and I think, having just passed, Vietnam Veterans Day, our Vietnam vets didn't enjoy that type of network support, and thankfully they do now, since we're able to get this message across. And it's through programs like yours, Kevin, that allow people like me to share stories like this, to honor our Gold Star families and our spouses and the brothers and sisters, that they don't get marginalized in mainstream media.
Major Hussing, final question. Echoes of Ramadi. We urge people to get it. We'll have you back on. Can you talk a little bit about the Gold Star families and for people that don't know what a Gold Star family is and how they deal with this loss?
Our Gold Star families are those that have lost son or daughter in combat. And I want to say lost because a lot of times the word sacrifice is used. But we sacrificed. We raised our hand and took an oath to serve in the military and the inherent dangers of being a professional warrior. They didn't. And our Gold Star families are those that lost. And it's nice when people still come up to me this day and say, thanks for your service. But to any of your listeners that are driving through Boise and they pull into their local Walmart or a gas station, they see that Gold Star on license plate or a gold sticker on that flag, they need to go to those people and reach out and, hug them and let them know that they care and they love them, because they are such an important part of not only our military, but our nation, this country we live in. They are really the people that breed these great generations of warriors that go off and do our nation's bidding, and that are doing it today as we still fight in Iraq. We're still fighting in Afghanistan, and we're still losing Marines and soldiers. And our Gold Star families are this group of people that I can only describe as extraordinary people.
Major Hussing, thank you very much. We'd love to have you back.
Yeah, I'll take you up on it anytime, Kevin. I'd love to be on the program. And thanks to all the listeners up in Boise. And, if I ever get up there to Sun Valley or Boise, I'll definitely give you a shout. But I'd love to be back on the program anytime. And thanks again for you and your staff having me on and helping share this message. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. You have a great day.
All right, guys. Take care.
Now we're at Mountain View High School. We're joined by two students who have been very patient. Why don't you introduce yourself to the listening audience, ma'am? We'll start with you.
My name is Brooke Thusen, and I'm a junior here.
And my name is Camille Masad, and I'm a junior here at Mountain View as well.
Well, we appreciate the counselors were asking what's talk radio doing here, so we appreciate you letting them know why we're here. Let's talk about, for people listening here at KIDO Talk Radio, what's life like here at Mountain View High School?
I mean, life's great. We got a big student body who's very passionate about their school, and a lot of love is being spread around here. There's a lot of great people who are involved in sports, clubs, activities, part of school and outside of school, and just people here who want to make a difference in the community, which is a beautiful thing.
How do you do that?
A difference in the community? Well, there's service projects that clubs do all around the valley here. Sometimes here at Mountain View we hold events such as like example A would be like homecoming, which is something that it could involve all the whole community and families that could come around and have like barbecue and listen to music here. Like Wild 101 came this year.
Well, how about KIDO Talk Radio?
We'll figure something out. I guess we'll figure something out. Yeah.
Right. Enough of you. All right.
Sounds good.
Back to you. Because you're very passionate. You've come up and talked to us already about the service projects and making a difference.
Yeah.
So.
About making a difference in the community?
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, most people would say, yeah, but you're here to get an education and then to go on to your life after education. Mm-hmm. What does it mean for you to work in the community?
Well, there's so many opportunities here, different clubs and sports, and it seems like every organization here has some sort of service project that they always do each year. Like I'm involved in multiple different clubs and stuff, and I think in every one that I've been in long enough to do a service project, we have done service projects, or we'll do fundraisers for the community, especially like our NHS club, our National Honor Society club. They do tons of service hours, just making a positive impact on our community. And that's not just service here, it's service at elementary schools, at senior citizen homes, tons of different places, just making a difference.
All right, how do you balance that with your classes?
Bouncing out with classes, it's just, I mean, with that comes a little less sleep, honestly.
Right.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's worth it because you get, like, a sense of satisfaction where you're involved in your school and then, in essence, then being involved in your community as well. Then you rest easy at night because you're tired. But, I mean, it makes up for it completely in the end because you have a great support system around here, especially here at Mountain View High School with the teachers, the administration, the staff, and also with the clubs and the peers you're in. We're all involved together, and that makes it super easy.
Mm-hmm. And because of all the involvement, you do have to sacrifice things. Like you might not hang out with your friends as much as you want to, or maybe go to certain events, but in the end, it's worth it because you're learning life lessons that'll help you a lot more further in life. So you just have to keep a good perspective on why you're doing things and why maybe you're missing out on other.
Sure. What's your goal when you get out of school? What do you want to do?
Go to college. I'm not exactly sure where.
Okay.
Do you mean
what?
Biomedical engineering.
Wow.
So, yeah.
And you, sir?
And I'm going to go to college as well, like Brooke, and study orthopedics.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. And you believe that the education you're getting here is helping you along that way?
Absolutely.
Yes, full-heartedly.
Anything else you'd like to share? Because you're talking right now to parents and grandparents. This is your chance to say something to them, unfiltered, uncensored. Maybe some suggestions, some tips. I don't know. Anything of thought that you'd like to share?
Share your wisdom. I just know from my experience with people who are older, even though sometimes it seems like teenagers aren't going to listen to you, I've learned so much from my parents and my grandparents and the older people that I know because they've had so many life experiences and they always have some wisdom to share and knowledge that you can gain from listening to them. So if you speak, someone will listen. So
all right,
share your story.
For sure. Along with that wisdom, like Brooke was talking about, I think just being there for the kids and for the students and just being as like a support system for them is very influential on the students. I think that personally for me, like Brooke said, parents and grandparents are super impactful in our lives, and especially my father, he's done a lot for me, and I think it's amazing that you could see other people and kids in your community that look up to their parents and their grandparents as well, and use their support and wisdom to help further them in their education and in their lives.
Well, thank you both. Appreciate it.
Yeah,
Appreciate
thank you.
All right. Have a great day.
You too.
You're listening to Kevin Miller on KIDO Talk Radio.
Hi.
And joining us now, our great friend Todd Christensen from CapEd Credit Union. Todd, good to have you with us.
Good to be here. Good morning.
So we take a look at, once again, back in the Saddle Hill, back in the schools, your thoughts about Mountain View High School and all the schools. I think I'm trying to, math, like English, was never my strong suit. I really don't know what my strong suit was in school. I'll have the accurate number of seasons coming up next week when we're at Meridian Technical. But again, another season here, and we begin with Mountain View High School. Your thoughts?
Another great opportunity to highlight a great high school here in the Treasure Valley, the programs that we've heard about, and from both the teachers and students and counselors here. It's a representation of the diversity of opportunity that we have in the West Ada School District, and the reality is across the entire state of Idaho. So it's great to be out here for the spring run of Promote Our Schools.
Let's talk a little bit about the 8th Annual High School Video Contest, and really, you take a look at these videos and how these kids are communicating today, and as most of us grew up on the party line or what have you, they communicate via video, right?
And we understand that hundreds of students have their own YouTube channel, and they're out there utilizing either their digital phone or digital camera, creating communication pieces in the video medium. For us as CapEd, we want to capture and really highlight that talent and skill set the youth are creating. And so this is, as you mentioned, our 8th annual high school video contest. We have over 25 submissions from student teams from across the state of Idaho. We'll be judging those early next week. And then on April 18th at Overland Park Theater, we invite the entire community to come out and see as we do a premiere, and we show all of the top 15 and then recognize the top 5 groups who have submitted those videos.
How tough is that?
The judging, it's, we sit there in Overland Park Theater, we see their productions on the big screen in the surround sound as if we're going to see it on the 18th. And I can share with you, when we're trying to narrow that down from the top 25 to the top 15 to the top 5, we're really looking at the skill, talent, how they've utilized the software, how they've storyboarded, how they've brought in the audio, the visual. We have, over the last couple of years, reached out to area videographers and those that are within the film industry to actually sit with us and view that, so that we're judging it not only on do we like the content of the video, but also how well is the content of the video presented.
More coming up, traffic and weather together at KIDO Talk. Back with our great friend Todd Christensen from CapEd Credit Union. So making videos is educational?
Making videos is educational. It is a way in which individuals communicate. We're obviously here in audio medium, but you also have your Facebook page, your Facebook Live. That's all the video medium, and it's one of those key elements to communications in the modern community.
Let's go back to the judging. Some big names are coming?
We have several individuals from across the valley who are involved in the film industry who will sit with us and judge. And then we have also, through Create Idaho, through the Department of Education and our connection to Adobe will be coming this year. And similar to last year, they've provided a certain number of free licenses for Creative Cloud, but this year they're providing an additional amount of those and an opportunity to really share with Adobe what's happening in the state of Idaho.
Todd Christensen joining us from CapEd Credit Union, Kevin Miller at KIDO Talk Radio. Let's take a look at teacher grants. How's that going?
Well, we just wrapped up our 9th year of doing teacher grants throughout the fall through the spring. And through the Idaho CapEd Foundation over the last nearly decade, we've been able to offer and provide to teachers just over $400,000 in classroom grants. This last school year, we were able to do 8 $750 grants per month and offer those throughout the entire state of Idaho.
And as we move along here, let's take a look at Read to Rise. That's coming up as well.
Read to Rise is coming up. We have the summer reading program. Again, this is associated with our hot air balloon and our to being able to promote early childhood literacy and to help eliminate, not eliminate, but at least reduce the summer slide within the elementary. So we offer it out to all elementary schools in the regions 3 and 4. Top 5 schools who have the most read minutes based off of their student population actually receive a visit of the Read to Rise hot air balloon to their school.
Anything else you'd like to share with us today?
We're glad to be here. We look forward to the school visits that we have coming out. Next week we're over Meridian Technical Charter.
Yep.
That's going to be interesting to see how they've tied in what they do as not necessarily a part of the West Ada School District, but part of the West Ada opportunity.
Yeah, we've got a few charter schools, Compass Charter School, Meridian Technical Charter, a few others. So
yeah, it's always, from my perspective, in looking at the list and the schools that we go out to on a regular basis, it highlights the diversity of opportunity that we have for our youth today.
It's funny because this is an audio thing, but, I just sit there and stare at you and I try and think of anything else. But anyway, again, support education, CapEd Credit Union. We couldn't do it without you, Todd Christensen, and all the folks at CapEd, so thank you. CapEd Credit Union.
We appreciate that and appreciate the opportunity to highlight schools throughout our community.
And WeLoveTeachers.org.
WeLoveTeachers.org is an opportunity to continue to support your favorite teacher.
Thank you, sir.
Absolutely.
All right, congratulations to Jim in Middleton for winning those tickets. We've got another pair for you to go see Dennis Miller with Kevin Miller on KIDO Talk Radio. Good morning, Maggie.
Good morning.
KIDO Talk Radio, Kevin Miller in the morning. Don't forget your chance to win Dennis Miller tickets coming up. By the way, we do appreciate so many people listening, and congratulations to Jim in Middleton. We've got another pair of tickets to give away between now and 9 a.m. Luke Wolf joining us, athletic director here at Mountain View, who has always been a fan of having us here. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. How are you?
Once a coach, always a coach. Huh?
Absolutely.
So we take a look at just some of the success your teams have had on the field, on the court. Can you share that with us?
Yeah, since being opened in 2003, we have 18 state titles, 31 district championships, 10 all-academic state titles, 8 Gatorade Players of the Year, and this year we have, as of right now, 26 kids committed to go to play collegiate athletics.
Boy, balancing that with the rigors of academia, how do you do that?
These kids, with the block schedule, they are able to obviously
take many different kinds of classes. Our district does hold them to a higher standard. We have an F policy in our district, so if they have an F, they cannot play in a game until that grade is brought up. Our teachers are always communicating with our coaches and communicating with me, and for the most part, our kids do a great job of getting what's the priority done first, which is their school.
Sure. When we take a look at how the game has changed, we talked about this last year, maybe it was a couple years ago, when we were talking about concussions. Very big in football, very big in soccer. At the high school level, where's the training? Because, again, these kids are so young.
Right. So our athletic trainers, and we have two of them, and I have two amazing athletic trainers. They also teach in our building, and it's the only profession where they have to be certified because of the liability with concussions. And we talk about it every year. We give parents the state law. We give them our concussion bill. We give them our return to play protocol. Here at Mountain View, I created a system where if a kid gets a concussion, the athletic trainer sends information out to the program head coach, the parents, and our school nurse. And then our school nurse then communicates with that student's teachers, counselors, and vice principal. So everyone's always on the same page. And we also have an online spreadsheet of who has concussion, where they are in the protocol to return to learn and return to play. So everyone's on the same page.
When we take a look at the certification for a trainer, what are the rigors involved in that?
Well, to get their certification, obviously a ton of different classes, a ton of on-the-field work, prep work. It's big, and we always try to stay above the curve. This year I brought out someone from St. Luke's to talk to our parents in the fall about concussions, and we have symposiums that our athletic trainers are going to. They just went to Portland last week, which was a big conference where concussions was discussed as well. So it's one of those things that, we have to be proactive instead of reactive.
Indeed. Do you ever think there'll be a day, because a lot of people think that we're going to be watching robots do these things as opposed to kids playing? I mean, Mr. Wolf, you're a pretty young guy, but do you think that could happen?
I don't think so. I hope not. I mean, athletics is something that, it's our kids' release. It's what they start doing when they're young, and they continue as far as possible.
Let's talk a little bit about the community, the Maverick community, being a Maverick, the boosters, the parents. What's that like to work with them?
Phenomenal. We are, here in the West Day School District, we only have 2 schools that are named after a city, with Meridian and Eagle. So, the other 3 high schools, we have to create our own community, and we are lucky we're the only school on the south side of the freeway, and we really embrace that culture.
You're the south side.
We are the south side, and what I love about Mountain View I've been here since we've opened, is we are a great mix of demographic backgrounds and kids. And with that being said, our parents are phenomenal. Our boosters are phenomenal. I just met with a new booster group yesterday that want to get going with track. And I have nothing but praise. And it reflects in our kids. We got great kids because we got great parents.
Indeed. Mr. Wolf, anything else you'd like to share with us?
Just thanks for being here.
Well, thanks for having us.
Really appreciate it. When George emailed me a couple weeks ago and said he wanted to come out, I was pumped, and I talked to Cliff, and getting our kids on the radio today with Brooke and Camille, that's the spotlight, are those kids.
Keeping up with those kids and stuff.
Yeah, a whole bunch of them.
Right.
I mean, my athletic caseload last year was 1,007 athletes, and with the state adding swim and our district adding girls lacrosse, that number just grows and grows and grows.
So, we've talked about this with the other administrators, keeping up with the influx of people coming in here. 2,300 kids. Amazing. So how much strain is that on your department, sir?
Well, as the athletic director and activities director, it all starts with our head coaches and our advisors. And as long as you have great people as the head of your programs, the headache is minimal. And I am extremely lucky to have amazing head coaches. They're our head coaches. They're Mountain View's head coaches. They're not mine.
Right.
They're our advisors are top-notch and amazing people. So I have no complaints.
Finally, future of high school sports. We see it televised a lot. Occasionally, we'll have radio stations do it, which, that goes back to the beginning of time. But are we losing something if all of a sudden we see like high school basketball and high school football on national cable networks? Or is
I think so. I'll take the Little League World Series, for example. Those kids are 12, and they go to Williamsport, and they're on ESPN. They're 12 years old, and that's the pinnacle of their athletic experience to be on ESPN. What happens after that? You know, the good thing is that we have in the Valley is our talent is growing, not in just one sport, but in every sport. Right now we have 14 D1 baseball commits from the Valley alone, and scouts at every game. And so that's a great representation that it's not just one sport here in the Valley. All of our sports are growing, and our kids are putting us, you know, Meridian, Idaho, Mountain View on a national stage. And we were blessed to have that with, you know, when we had Destiny Slocum, McDonald's All-American, Naismith All-American.
Once a Maverick, always a Maverick.
Absolutely.
Going to be a Beaver, huh?
Yeah, she's going to Oregon State. And, you know, we have Lexi Holiday, ranked nationally in the country with her mile time. She was Gatorade Runner of the Year for cross country last year, and she was the Gatorade Track Athlete of the Year. So
a lot going on.
A lot going on, but it's good stuff going on.
You're right. We don't hear that a lot. We don't.
Well,
I'm with you. That's why we're here.
Half full, half empty.
I'm with you.
Know?
Look, I'm a half empty guy, but I love the schools.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's not just at Mountain View. I mean, all of our schools in Nampa and Kuna and the Boise districts, you know, being an athletic director and getting to know all the ADs and all the coaches and all these other buildings and the administrators, we got a good thing going on here in the Treasure Valley with all of our kids and all of our schools.
Mr. Wolf, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you.
All right, have a great one.
You too.
Awesome.
580-5436, 580-KIDO. Do want to remind you, your chance to win tickets to see Dennis Miller. When you hear Dennis Miller say Kevin Miller, and I listen to Kevin Miller in the Treasure Valley, caller 10 at 580-5436, 580-KIDO if you'd like to win those tickets. This is part of our Thank You Thursdays, where we take a look at Thank You Thursdays. And every Thursday during the spring, we're going to thank you by giving you an opportunity to win tickets here at KIDO Talk Radio. It's just our way of thanking you. Coming up, by the way, they're warming up in the bullpen. Our great friends Rob and Aaron from Team Mazda Subaru. We'll get with them again without Cap Ed Credit Union, without Team Mazda Subaru. We could not afford to go to these schools, and they are our partners. And we thank them for not only telling folks they care about the community, but showing us as well. So we'll talk a little with them, and we'll get your thoughts as well at 580-5436. 580-KIDO. You're listening to Kevin Miller on KIDO Talk Radio. You know, I thought it was going to be a good segment. I don't know. Bob and Meridian, thank you very much for winning those tickets. We appreciate you listening to KIDO Talk Radio. Gave away our final tickets to see Dennis Miller. Speaking of Dennis Miller, we're joined by Aaron and Rob of Team Mazda Subaru here at KIDO Talk Radio. Good morning.
Speaking of Dennis Miller.
Yeah.
Good morning, guys. Certainly a lot going on in the world today. What's going on this weekend at Team?
You know, Team is having specials and selling cars and taking care of families.
Yeah.
That's what we do.
Not as much as going on right now, right here with the schools. This is an amazing school.
It's amazing how nice this school is.
It's like a Waldorf Astoria. I mean, you go in here,
Astoria.
They got fish tanks and leather couches in the library, and it's amazing.
You've been in the library.
Believe it or not, I know how to read, Kevin. Thank you.
I would never say that you don't, Aaron. But no, that's the issue. You know, the challenges in education. I know that you folks care about not only the folks here in Ada County, but Canyon County, and giving folks not only a reliable vehicle, great service, but being a part of the community is so important when we're talking about servicing our great Treasure Valley. And like I say this when you guys aren't around. We really appreciate you helping us with the schools, with Miller's Mission. We couldn't do it without you guys and the team at Team. And we talk about, everybody says stuff, but you guys are always giving back to the community.
Thank you. We love our connection with you, KIDO, with the schools. We love to have a connection with charities in general, and you've brought us some great ones. Boise Rescue Mission, that's going to happen here for us pretty soon, and supporting the schools, it's a big deal to us.
You know, and when you deal with people day in and day out, because you guys are doing that all the time, their wants and their needs, and everybody, wants what's best for their kids.
Yeah, I would agree. And, talking about it, and we were in here and we're looking, and how conducive to learning this is. This is a great place to be. Just
Well,
to
you
sit
two are
here
like
and
two kids when we, if I'm the adult
Yeah.
in the room, it's scary.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
When you guys come in here.
But I mean, you want these kids to go on and do great things, and they need to have the right facilities and the right tools for
Right.
education, because they're just a burden on all of us if they're not.
Indeed, right.
And so it's very important. How exciting was it that all the levies passed? I think everywhere but Valley View.
Yes, people were very excited about that at KIDO Talk Radio.
Well, we
they're probably
understand,
not.
we
but
understand.
we understand that part of it. But I mean, the big problem is if they're not having success and they are overcrowded and they're not
Right.
learning, you're going to have a real problem with it when they're all not doing anything and just living off the government. So I think it was great. And I'm biased. I have kids in school, and I want them to have good facilities for the next 8 years. And I thought it was great.
Sure. Another thing that's we're dealing with is, and I don't know if you guys deal with it, this whole idea of traffic in the area. So many people moving in, the roads are getting congested, all
Yeah.
those sorts of things.
Yeah.
That really doesn't have anything to do with selling cars. I mean, you guys have to sell cars and such, and I want you to sell cars. But it's amazing in the last few years how much traffic has really increased in our area. Have you guys noticed that?
Well, here's the good thing. At Team, we don't have any ultra big vehicles, so no huge trucks, no massive sport utilities, all
Right.
decent gas mileage. So we're helping that problem. We have smaller cars. Anyway,
And then,
but we're definitely adding to the number of units on the road.
But you notice
people
that, though.
buy
I mean,
cars
people are
from us.
tailgating and driving aggressively. They do that with you, or maybe it's just me. Maybe they just see me and go, I'm going to get him.
Well, it's because it's the Forester that you have. It's wrapped and it looks beautiful, and maybe that throws people off.
Right. It's funny. When people see that Forester, they look at
What's
me.
the
and they look
Forester
at
again?
The Team Subaru Drive for Excellence in Education Forester. It's funny, though. Somebody said I need to update the picture because I don't look anything like the picture anymore.
Oh, it's
You're
the
so
new,
much
it's
more
the new
handsome.
goatee.
Right,
It
dude.
looks great.
Yeah, gray beard Kevin. But anyway, Aaron, do you notice that with the traffic at all?
I would say at certain times of the day, I
Like Eagle Road? My goodness.
Yeah, he lives in Meridian. So
I
he's
live in
certainly
Meridian,
dealing with it.
like McMillan to get to Eagle Road.
Right.
I mean, at certain times of the day, it is pretty tough. They're going to have to widen the road to accommodate. I don't know what else they're going to do.
I was going to say, yeah. What would you do?
You got to widen the road.
You got to tax the
at some
people,
point.
Kevin.
Tax.
You got to tax them.
Really? That'll go over well.
Yeah.
That'll go over well.
Your listenership loves
Maybe we
that
could have
one.
like an initial huge $3,000 to $5,000 tax when you move in from out of state to help pay for these
That's
roads.
what people
Yeah,
are
the
talking about,
staters.
an impact, yeah.
Yeah, an impact.
right.
Why not? It's a
I'm
beautiful
looking
place
at
to
building
live.
a wall, actually.
And California's going to pay for it.
Right. Thank you for that. California's. I'm going to use that one. Thank you.
We got a much longer border with Oregon and Washington. They can pay for it.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
How
It's
about
all, it's all their weed revenue.
There are a lot of folks. Thank you, Aaron. There are a lot of folks coming in from California, so we'll see. I still like that. California, Oregon, and Washington will pay for it. So another thing going on. Obviously, the big race for politics and stuff.
Yeah.
Everybody running for governor and Congress and all that stuff. Any thoughts on that?
I was just in the Capitol the other day. My son's fifth grade class went in there, and while they were in session, and got to watch, and it was quite an eye-opening experience for him. He was really impressed with the process.
Right.
Yeah.
Perhaps a future leader.
Well,
Well, you have any opinions? You're talking to all of them now. You had Alquist on. You had Labrador.
Can I tell you guys a secret?
Yeah. Don't tell anyone else.
This is just between Aaron, Rob, Team Mazda Subaru, and the members of the Miller Militia. You would think that people would be clamoring to come on and talk. I have found, and I know what you're going to say, well, maybe it's you, Kevin. That's enough of that, guys.
He's going to answer all his own questions.
nobody's listening.
Right. That's enough of that, Aaron. But it's funny. You actually have to chase these guys. Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking to myself, it's great that you have these online stuff and Facebook that.
Yeah.
But when you're talking about Idaho primary voters, they listen to this station, this show in the morning because they're the reddest of the Reds. And it's amazing that you have to call people and say, hey, would you like to come on? And you're like, shouldn't they be calling all the time?
Yeah, you would think.
Yeah.
You would think. Especially the your listenership.
Right. And it comes down to, like, you guys have a team. You have a good crew. What are you paying people for? Hey, I got a click and a zap and a zip. Well, that's wonderful, but there's nothing more powerful when we're talking politics than the spoken word, and that's my objective opinion.
I would agree with that. I mean, you see the commercials and then, doctor this and this guy that, but to really hear
Doctor this, I haven't seen any of those.
Oh yeah, I saw the doctor once, and and anyway, just for me, if you can hear them, see them, the eye contact, listening to the tone and inflection in their voice like you do,
right,
says a lot for me.
Yeah.
Well, we talk about that with our sales staff and with the people that we work for. It makes more sense to talk to people than to email and text.
Yeah.
Even in this day and age,
I agree.
You get a lot further with people. You create a relationship, and it means so much more for us to serve people. You're not really serving with text messaging
right.
and emailing. You can really serve somebody with your voice.
Yeah, George. George agrees. All right.
He's shaking his head.
All right. Anything else you guys would like to say? How about another smack at Kevin Miller, maybe for him?
We're just really glad to be a part of this and
yeah,
part of your group and part of what you guys are doing.
I love you guys. I do. I'm proud that you guys are with us. We really appreciate you.
We're
guys.
fans for sure.
All right, maybe one day family.
Keep doing what you do.
And keep.
You're a fine American.
All right. Okay. Let's get to traffic. And remember, one more time, the KIDO Kevin Miller cash code word is couch. Couch. Listen today at 3:05 during Sean Hannity for your chance to get another code word 3. When you hear that, type that in. That'll increase your chance to win up to $5,000. That's right. So code 2 today is couch. For more details on how you can win up to $5,000, check out KIDOTalkRadio.com under Win Kevin's Miller Money. By the way, hopefully my cold will be better tomorrow. I do apologize for Max. We didn't get to you. Do appreciate everybody here at Mountain View. Next week we're at Meridian Technical Charter in Meridian, Idaho. Promote our schools, secure our future, brought to you by CapEd Credit Union and Team Mazda Subaru. We do want to thank our on-site producer and coordinator, George, along with Ray Amaya back at the Broadcast Center, and for you who continue to support our message of conservatism, of faith, of family, of freedom. We know you have a lot of choices in the morning. We know you have a lot of choices throughout the day. We really humbly appreciate you being with us each and every morning. Don't forget Glenn Beck is coming up, and tomorrow on the program, well, we've got a lot to talk about, and I can't wait to hear what you have to say. God bless, and keep the faith.